Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to this special show titled English on the Way. On the eve of the start of a special new academic year for primary schools, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, announced the adoption of English in primary schools, and this starting this year. This came following the Council of Ministers the 19th of June 2022. And naturally, the Ministry of National Education established a set of measures to implement this decision in the best conditions. To talk more about these measures and the entire process of the adoption of English in primary schools, I am thrilled to welcome with me in the studio Mrs. Noura Tayri, a General Inspector at the level of the Ministry of National Education. Hello, and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for the invite.
And Mr. Jamal Dahmas, an inspector at the level of the same ministry. Hello, and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for the invitation.
So the start is going to be with you, Mrs. Tayri. As someone that has been in the educational sector for years, how do you see the steps and what are the outcomes, short and long term?
So this decision is a great decision. I think it is a great acquisition for our educational system. And for the outcomes, we need to understand the position of English in the world and in Algeria. So the need for introducing English in primary school is something very important, imposed by the position of English in the world.
And it was long awaited by the society as well.
Yes, absolutely. So English was expected and was for a long time expected to be introduced in primary school.
Indeed, all right. Mr. Dahmas, yes, of course.
If you ask me the same question, I would say that I had a dream. I had a dream, and that was to see English installed and the English learned by our kids in primary school.
And here we are.
And now my dream is coming true. So happy.
Mr.
Yes.
Dahmas, my question for you is, once the decision was made, what are the steps and the mechanisms adopted by the ministry to implement this decision in the best conditions?
Well, I would say that the thing, so when speaking about mechanisms, I'm going to insist on training, on recruitment of teachers and then on training. The recruitment was made on basis, Mrs. Tayri is going to speak about that later. And the training also, there were modules that had to be prepared, that had to be well thought and well designed in order to provide the future teachers, the would-be teachers, with the information, the needed information to start well their job.
Their training, their teaching journey.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, indeed, one of those mechanisms was the training of teachers that lasted for 10 days across the national territory. Our colleague Manal Ammari visited the Omar Rasim school here in Algiers to inquire more about this training and came back with the following.
The president of our country decided to implement English in primary schools, which is a response, and we would like to thank him because it's a response itself to a need, to a demand from the Algerian society. Algerian people like English, they would like their children to study English, and the president is saying yes to English in primary schools.
Following the President of the Republic's decision to officially introduce English in primary schools, starting the new academic year on September 21st, 2022, training sessions for the benefit of future primary school English teachers were provided at various educational establishments nationwide, including the Omar Rasim High School here in Algiers.
All wilayas are concerned by this training, and probably the number, they said that the number of teachers all around the country is around 5,000 or something like that. And these 5,000 teachers are all in need of developing some skills in the arts.
So I think that introducing English in primary schools is really an excellent initiative, since the future generations will have the opportunity to access to sciences in general and communicate with people from all the different parts of the world.
These sessions took place from the 8th until the 19th of the current month, with teachers attending this program to get equipped with all the necessary tools to help them teach third-year pupils.
This training is meant to equip, the teachers who are going to work with the young learners, with the primary school learners, to equip them with tools and strategies so that they can take in charge this category of learners.
The program includes 7 modules, 4 taught in English, namely didactics, planning, assessment, and curriculum, in addition to 3 others taught in Arabic, particularly legislation, psychology, and classroom management, to get them acquainted with the appropriate teaching methods to properly communicate with children in the classroom.
Let's say if we talk about the modules that the teachers are discovering here, so we may talk about a number of modules related to the specialty, to the language itself, and some other modules that are related to the psychology of the child. So we need them to have an idea about how these learners, develop. And this would provide them with a clear sight, a clear view on how to behave with them in the classroom and even sometimes outside the classroom.
Teachers that underwent the training expressed their satisfaction with the program provided and their readiness to teach English following this comprehensive training.
Teaching in primary school is quite specific. So pupils will have their first contact with the language. So we must focus on the basic forms of the process of learning. Fortunately, we are, thanks to this training, so we are really well guided and well informed by our trainers.
A fully completed training and a book made in record time once again proves the government's determination to make teaching English in primary schools for the academic year 2022-2023 a great success.
Now, my next question is for you, Mr. Dahmas. We know that children at such a young age are more delicate to work with. However, they are easier to teach a new language too. How did the training that we've seen with our colleague help the teachers tackle these 2 points? How did it cover those bases? And if you can tell us more about the modules it included.
Great. So welcome to speak about the program that was designed for the training of those teachers. We'll say that we had to prepare them first for the coming role they'll have to play in the classroom. So there were 4 modules devoted to the specialty, to English, and 3 modules devoted to the management of the classroom and to the psychology of the child. So concerning the modules, they had to know about how to teach the skills, for example, how to assess the learners, and how to bring remedy to any difficulty met by the learners, as well as the curriculum. So they had to have an idea about the curriculum because they had to have a vision. This is what we call the pre-service training. So we had to give them opinion about teaching in general and how to. And after, they're going to have another training and throughout the year, and it is what we call in-service training.
So continued training throughout the year.
Yes, it will be non-stop. And when you come to speak about CPD or continuing professional development, we develop professionally all the time using different tools, and the teachers are going to take advantage of the seminars of the training by the ministry, as well as the personal efforts.
Perfect, thank you, Mr.
We can also add that in this training we've much focused on how to teach speaking and listening, because it will be the oral competency that will be targeted. So the approach will be based on learning by doing and active learning strategies. So this is what is also included in all this this training program.
Perfect. Well, with you, Mrs. Tairi, let's go back a little to before the training, to the applications and the selection process. If you could tell us more about the criteria that these teachers were chosen based upon.
Okay, so the ministry has adopted criteria for selecting teachers. So the first one is, of course, the degree The university degree, that is equivalent, it is the bachelor's degree or
Bachelor's
what we call
degree in English.
And in English or in translation from to or to English. So this is the first criterion. Then comes the municipality. It means every teacher is recruited in his municipality.
Yes.
And then the date of graduation. So, of course, the most ancient degrees have priority on the most recent ones. And then when if it happens that the two, for example, applicants have graduated the same year, then we consider we take into account their date of birth.
The birth. Yes.
Okay. So these are the major criteria for selecting teachers.
Perfect. Well, Mr. Dahmas, let's talk more about the manual or the textbook. What does it focus on? Listening, writing, reading, or speaking, or all four? And what do both of you expect from the student, primary school student, at the end of the year?
A very good question. I may say that at this particular level and this age, the learners need to discover a language. They are going to discover a language by using different tools. I will say that 80% of the program, of their program, is devoted to speaking, to listening and speaking. And only 20%. So at this level, they don't write. They listen, they speak, they play. There are many strategies that are used to make the learners learn.
They will learn how to
through
write like
fun.
simple words.
They're going to be happy. Many activities are suggested to the learners to learn through songs, through fun, etc. So they're going to speak. They're going to play, and they are going to act out some scenes. Role play. That's what we call role play. Mrs. Tyree can add, I think.
Yes, as I mentioned before, it will be learning by doing. So learners will learn the language, to speak the language. And the major competency that is targeted here, it is oral competency. It means they are going to listen, to speak, and also they are going to play games and maybe sing songs. So they will. I think learners will enjoy themselves learning English at primary school.
That at this particular level, I come in to speak about their program. That is the immediate their immediate environment. Mm-hmm. The themes that they're going to deal with. They're going to speak about their classroom, for example. They're going to speak about their family, etc. So when they speak about their classroom, they're going to speak about the tools they use in the classroom, the affairs, pens, etc. They know these words in Arabic.
Yes,
they need simply to know them in English. They will discover the language and the pronunciation, the sound. So they will name the words and sound them.
So it is more focused on the oral side.
Oral, of
However,
course,
they will learn how to write the basis, the alphabet.
And they will speak. There are 6 topics, in fact, 6 topics in the program. As I said, they will speak about their classroom, their house, their family. They're going to speak about their pets also, their pets, etc. So they will speak about their immediate environment and with fun, with different strategies.
Different activities, as we've seen in the textbook.
They're going to sing, they're going to play, they're going to
about
do
their everyday life also.
About their everyday life, exactly. Well, one of the most frequently asked questions by parents is how much time is dedicated to English in the classroom?
Okay, is it?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
sorry. So there will be 1.5 hours per week. So it means 2 sessions of 45 minutes in a week.
Okay, great. And my next question is for the both of you. Why the 3rd year precisely? Why not the 2nd? Why not the 4th? And what are the upcoming steps? Because now the 3rd year pupils are going to become a 4th year pupils. So what are the upcoming steps?
Because,
can I answer the
yes,
first part of the question? So the first part of the question was why 3rd year?
Why 3rd year, exactly.
Okay. So based on research studies in neurosciences and educational psychology, the appropriate age for learning introducing foreign languages was identified to be between 8 to 11 years. So 8 years corresponds to the third year in primary school. This is why we two foreign languages are introduced in third year primary school.
Yes, and the child at that age has an intellectual ability to learn many languages, not only one, but many languages. And educational psychologists, through their studies, have demonstrated that kids at the age of 8, or from the age of 8 to 11, they have the ability to learn many languages.
There's a kind of flexibility in their brain that allows them to learn and to understand the structure of languages at this age.
That's it.
Great. Well, I believe that was it for the questions. Thank you for both my guests, Mrs. Tayri for sharing this information with us, Mr. Dahmas as well. Do you have any last words?
Last word, my dream is coming true, so I'm happy. I'm happy to see English studied in primary school, in primary education.
Well, that was it for our show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in this talk that we hope was informative on the process of the introduction of English in primary schools. As a reminder, Canal Algérie offers English news every day, 30 past midnight 30 every day. And that was it for the show. Thank you for watching. Best of luck to the students going back to school tomorrow. Have a lovely evening.
We'll be right back.